knowledge is there, but whose knowledge is it at the same time?
Right.
And so if it's someone else's knowledge and you don't know how to use it, then you're never going to get wisdom.
That's
right?
the same thing with life. If you go around just checking your boxes, that depicts who you are. When in reality, that's not even who you are. Understand that there is no actuality when you speak of some of the stuff that we try to make actual. Like there is no actuality in it, and we don't know.
There's two ways. There's a deductive, which is we just accept, we just accept the information and we go with it because we need a framework. Everyone's got a framework. You got the physicists with the Big Bang. You got all these other psychologists with all these other theories, right? They need a framework to
understandable.
Like you're saying, well, there's no actuality to it. Well, this life, no, there isn't. But you and I are awake right now, so the actuality of that, it's happening. It's just happening now.
I think because we put framework on it is the reason why we get caught up in the framework. Even if we try to exclude it and saying, "Oh, these other entities have framework." In reality, though, there is no framework to it. It's what we put on it. Even the word God itself is a framework. We don't even know what the name of the being of what we call God is really actually God. It's just of the framework, like you speak of the world. What I really believe in is religion is the reassurance of God, right? Nothing about religion is God, just pieces of it. It gives you pieces of God. It shows you places and things that you could get in tune with to reach God. But once you fully get God, though, you no longer need those reassurances, which will be the religion-based stuff.
You hit a good point. Once you reach the Lord, you don't need anything. You're right, because even the Lord Himself says it in the last in the verse 66 of the last chapter. He says, "Just surrender unto me." So if your perspective is that there's no actuality and the eventuality of all existence is just existence itself, that's okay. That's just like the sunlight coming in through the window. It's still the sun, and you're still correct. So it's all good. Just have fun then, because
right.
If it's all just a framework, at the end of the day, you still need a solution for suffering. I mean, you suffer, don't you? You gotta sometimes.
You only suffer if you allow yourself to suffer. Suffering is only in what you make it. I mean, you have to understand where you are. Where you are is made. We were made to suffer here. That was the whole purpose. Even from the beginning of the book, once man sinned, so to speak, in the beginning of the book, when we speak of the book, the first punishment that God gave was suffering. He made women bear children, and the reason why they have the pain of labor is because it was God's punishment for sinning. So it was suffering. Also with man, He punishment of laboring, which is suffering.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we are made to suffer regardless.
Well, I mean, that's just one perspective from one culture that's saying we were here.
Honestly, it's only one culture. Actually, we make up all these different cultures, but it's only one.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense, because you got the Chinese culture, you got all these different books that they have in their library.
I mean, that's man's opinions. But in reality, if you get down to the nitty gritty of it, it's only one of anything and everything. It's only one.
Yes, I agree with you on that one.
Right. So if it's only one, that means there's no way it can be so many differences, so many contrasts. It's impossible.
Right. So what he's saying is language and culture and societies and knowledge, that they all boil down, they all reduce to just, we are only one energy. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Right.
And but okay, so the thing is that not everybody knows this. That's the problem. You feel me?
No. Majority of people don't know that.
Exactly. So, and because they don't know this kind of thing, we have fighting and so on and all this stuff.
Right, but it's only because we force people into a box, right? We force people into choosing a box to fit in, choosing what they believe in, instead of just allowing them to define and believe themselves.
Well, but if you use that analogy, that's a box in itself too, allowing all the other boxes to be in it.
No, see, that's something one box will tell all the other boxes. That's a good one. See, that's what one box will tell every other box that same. That's what every other box tell every other box. When reality is, no, we get stuck in the box. It's
There
so
you
many
go.
different boxes nowadays. It's a
For
lot of
sure.
different boxes nowadays.
Yes, I
And so
agree
you
with
just,
it.
but that's the problem. We try to. There are no more individuals no more. They're just you just fit into a certain box. You checking off boxes of who you like say for like a job application, all you doing for real is when like they don't care about who you are, they care about those boxes that you check. That's how they categorize you and picking who you want to be and what you want to and who you are. That's the
Right.
same thing with life. If you go around just checking your boxes, that depicts who you are. When in reality, that's not even who you are.
Right.
I don't care what I don't care if you go for that application, no matter how many of them boxes you check out, it don't mean it's not going to tell the story of who you actually are at all.
I like
Yes.
that. I like that.
So there is no real prerequisite to any religion or what we think is right because it's all based on opinion. Only thing we can do is live and allow God to come through and do His thing. And when it happens, you record it, you let somebody else know what happened, and then we move on from there. I don't believe the folklore. I believe the intentions behind the folklore, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Well, in this case, there's a lot of it. There's so much more
Most
than
of it.
our good book. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
most
mean,
of it is a folklore.
it just depends on what you're looking at, and for sure, you still need
No.
knowledge. Like, for example, your mother is the only one that can tell you who your father is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still need
Which is understandable, but
you still need to get some
knowledge
kind of
is
knowledge
good, but
from someone. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
that is. But the only time knowledge is good is when it's gained into wisdom and is used. That's the only time knowledge is good.
Absolutely.
Knowledge is the one thing that we possess that's easily attainable is knowledge. But wisdom is not the one that everybody has. That's what everybody lacks. Everybody lacks wisdom with the knowledge. Everybody got all the knowledge. It's there. They
Right.
give it to you. If you can anything you want to know right now, you can put it in Google and ask Google. It's gonna give you the answer. But at the same time, that's just an opinion of somebody else.
Right.
Because if I ask you who God is, and you ask me who God is, you can get two different answers. But it's the same God though.
Right. But my definition includes your definition because the word for God that I use is Krishna, which is all attractive. So it also includes every other God's name in it because that's the origin for that one. That's my opinion. If we're gonna go that way,
I mean, that's also somebody else's opinion.
right? But I gotta take my
learn
mom's
that based
authority
on-
that my dad is who he is. I can't like just whimsically live life without any idea of anything. You know. So the question always is within you. You have to find knowledge somewhere.
You start off with what you taught from your family, and then you find within yourself by looking and searching on your own as well.
Right.
I get you.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
And I get what you. I get that.
But I mean, you think about it.
Because
are you behaving in your life based on the knowledge that they gave you at school, or is it knowledge that you gained and you actually weighed out and made your own choice for it? Are you wearing that hat because he's your buddy, or are you trying to support his business, or because you actually like the hat that says all work? You know what I'm saying? Like it may be a silly proposition at the moment, but I mean, are you really wearing black because someone told you that black looks good on you, or because you like that black is good for you?
Exactly. Right. Yeah, real shit.
So it's the same thing with what Steve says. It's like knowledge is there, but whose knowledge is it at the same time?
Right.
And so if it's someone else's knowledge and you don't know how to use it, then you're never going to get wisdom. Because wisdom is actually taking knowledge from somewhere else and making it your own and actually coming to your own conclusion of what that is.
Absolutely.
So
y'all niggas getting deep. I like this shit.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
The mission of man then is to build up other men. We get to the real mission is we get to bring up the youngins to not be crash outs.
More to it because it first started with us. See, once I started this little journey of trying to get better, you start looking at yourself a lot more, and then you'll realize how much of damage you're doing yourself, even when it's minute, right? It could be small shit, but a lot of what you're doing is a hindrance to the culture, right? Which starts this whole downward cycle. The ones you talking about is on a bigger scale, like the music industry, you know, the entertainment industry, which teaches our culture, this and that. But in reality, though, a lot of it be yourself, though. Like, you'll find a lot of what you do yourself is not even conducive to anything you're trying to get to. It's the journey. That's what life is about, is the journey. That's it.
That's it.
This thing called existence. What is it? You ask that question long enough and it suddenly hits you that if you could answer it, you wouldn't know what terms to put the answer in.
That's it.